What's going on, traders? Didn't have my power set on there. Gotta have that phantom power on. What's going on, traders? How we doing? Welcome to Money Mitch. Today we're gonna get into a rapid moving market. As you guys can see, SPY ripping out there. We're gonna get into some of these sectors and industries. Look for some hot stocks. Find the next trade. That's what we're always about here on Money Mitch. You guys hit the like button and let's go ahead and get Money Mitch started. It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay. Money Mitch. What's up, traders? How we doing? How's it going? How's the market out there? Did you guys get a big winner today? Let me know in the chat if you guys got a nice winner. What you looking at today? What's going on, Max, Crypto, Backyard, Benjamin, Solar in the house? You guys, if you're new to the show, say hello. This is what it's all about. You guys out there run this show. Money Mitch, welcome to the Money Mob, where we talk everything story. We're going to talk story, fundamentals, and technicals, but it's really about learning the combination of all three and how we can get to that winning process. All right, let's go ahead and let's talk about the overall market. Looks like we got Richard in the house, Solar, Gabriel. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Benzinga. You got it already, man. I love it. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at the SPY overall market. What did we get today? Well, wouldn't you know it? After 10 a.m. reversal? What? They just wash out the retail traders and then they go after it here. Big volume coming in here at the close. We talked about it on my podcast this morning that we wanted to see it get back above 447. Look how we just really came back down to that 9 EMA that we talked about on that podcast. Also, we wanted to see it bounce off the 443.71. Really, we went down past that level, but caught up right above that EMA. And once we got right back above it, you can see how we're holding to it on any pullbacks. Let's see if we can get a big push towards 448, but not a bad move there. Let's take a look here at the Qs. Qs doing the same kind of move, that washout, fake washout, then reversal here coming in there, pushing on up. And then you see how the 9 EMA starting to hold. Let's let that 9 EMA hold there. And one thing you can see is the moving average 200 come into play here on the hourly. And you can see it came in right there at about 364.17. So to me, as long as we can hold 364 now, we're in a bullish sense and we can push on up through this kind of resistance here. You could really see that we've been running towards this 369.91. You could call it 370. That's what I want to see it break out through tomorrow. I'm going to be watching the Qs to see if we can get through those levels. I got a question in the chat. What's up? How we doing out there? Don't ask much other than this. Absolute control. I have no idea what Michael is saying there, but I have no idea really. Let me just keep going here. I don't know what that was in the chat. How we doing, Gabriella? It's good to see you in chat. Let's get going. Let's get into some stocks that moved today. I did get a mention here. Am I still in DraftKings? Yes. To answer that question, I am still in DraftKings. Actually, when it came down today, pushing down, I was paying attention to it because, I wasn't going to let this go into become a loser, but we came down towards a low of 51.51. I've averaged up all the way up to 51.30. I definitely want to pay attention here to see if we can bounce back through that 200-day moving average. You can see how we went right back above there. But one of the things is we need to just get back above this 54. We wanted to see a 54 breakout through 54, getting to 57. Now we don't want to see it get back below 52. That's one thing I noticed, that I don't want to let it crack 52 again. If it does crack 52 again, I might have to get rid of it and look for a re-entry. I'm definitely going to take a profit on this trade because I've just been sitting in the green. But one thing I'm trying to do is set myself up for a nice push back up through that 54. And if it does get through that 54, I could see us getting to 55 and then 57, where I'd be taking that profit. Backyard, I'm sure he was in the wrong chat, probably. Max saying the same thing. I mean, I have no idea what Michael's talking about. Michael Riley, you're lost, dude. You're lost, bro. Let's go ahead. We'll just kind of sleep him out. Don't worry. I have a good block button that I can use. Let's keep going. Let's get into some other stocks. Look what we can find. Penn is going to be an interesting one too because you did get a hard turnaround today. I thought this one was going to start on an uptrend. Looks like we're coming back down towards support. We could come back down towards the 62. We don't want to see that. We want to see this stock get right back above 70s. All right, let's go ahead. Let's talk about some industries today. What moved, what didn't, guys? Really, I mean, right out the top, utilities really pushing on up. Let's take a look here at some big gainers, see what we saw out there. You can see VWTR. This is a water resource play, really pushing on up through the resistance here of 1372. Now getting on up there towards 1494 in the after hours. Let's see if this one can get above 15 tomorrow. This is VWTR. This is a water resource play, and we're talking about the utilities sector. Let's go ahead. Let's keep going here. What other stocks could you take a look at? Look at this PEG. This PEG really did make a nice push on up. Wondering if this is kind of like a 52-week high here, or we're really starting to lift here. And you can see it really did do kind of like a cup and handle almost look here. A little bit of a cup shape. Here's the handle. Let's see if we can really start popping through the 65. Big push there in PEG, Public Service Enterprise Group, and utilities really making a lift here. One that I also saw, Duke. Look at Duke. Nice day for Duke. Nice reversal day. Really pushed on up right out the open, went on a sideways trend. We've been talking about this one, and also POR, the one that I like also. Not a bad day also. Went on up right out the gates and then a sideways trend. Good volume coming into the close. We'll see if this one can really start lifting. This is POR. Let's go into the healthcare, see what we see in healthcare. What moved out there? Looks like healthcare plans were moving. So that's UNH, United Healthcare Group. One thing I do is I draw this resistance. It's definitely going towards it. This is a bigger stock, but you can definitely see United Health trying to make a breakout here. It could retrace towards 400, so be careful there. If not, I'll see it try to test that 422 again. This would be the third, or this would actually be the fourth time to test it. So you got the 1, 2, 3. Like if we get that test again, it needs to rip through for it to have that continuation move. Looks like there's a lot of people talking in the chat. Long PFE. I'll talk about that one in a second. Bought a long call in Palantir. Benjamin's talking about. That's a good one to definitely take a look at. I was actually seeing it today, looking for pullbacks in that one, but we'll see if that one can continue to pull back. It did get a lift there. Let's take a look at that PLTR chart in a second. And a couple other ones you can see here. CVS, HUM. See if this one comes back, pushing on up. But ANTM, Anthem, also could be another one. But these are expensive. These are healthcare plays, and we'll see how these continue to run. We also got consumer defenses pushing on up a little bit. The discount stores pushing on up. BJ's pushing on up. Costco, Walmart into the earnings. We're going to definitely be paying attention to see how Walmart performs. We got some other stocks here. DG making a big push, and we'll see how these continue to run. Lagging today, we did have energy on the downside. This is why I was looking at DRIP. I was looking at DRIP today for a day trade. I was going to try to get 10.05s and see where this one could go because I did see it push on up to 10.25. So a nice little pullback here to 10.05. Would have been a nice entry. I would have got myself into the green, but I'm looking to see if this is going to be a continued trend. Are we really turning around on oil? Because if we're going to turn around on oil, then I think there's a lot of plays that you can find in here. Let's go ahead and take a look here, what I can find. PBR also taking a dip today. There's a couple of these that I've put out there. MRO, I just don't see that much of a pullback here to attack. But I did put out on my Twitter here this morning, guys. I wanted to look at these plays, and I called out energy just because, I mean, whenever I see the whole sector really getting crushed like that, I want to see if this is going to continue to be a trend. One of the things I did see in the weekend was, hey, did you guys see gas prices? Gas prices are shooting through the roof. Whenever I see gas prices shooting through the roof, I actually start thinking, okay, so when is the trend going to change? When are the gas prices going to start heading back down? Because gas is and oil is usually in this kind of wave where it waves up, goes to the peak, then comes on all the way back down, then scoops all the way back up. So I'm looking to see if this is exactly the trend we're going to get. One of the things that I'm going to see is that this is one that I wanted to attack. So this is XOM. Reason why is we keep having this weak look towards the 200-day moving average. I think this stock could break 55 and head down towards 50. And if it heads down to 50, there's no reason why it can't head down towards 45 from that point. This is XOM, Exxon Mobil. I think this one could break big, guys. So definitely pay attention towards this. You see this 55.10 support. Let's see if we break this, start making our way back down closer towards the 200-day moving average. And then I could see us making a move closer towards the 50 mark. We'll see if that can get down there. I know, guys, evil shorts. We don't do all that. But hey, if the stock is going to tumble and oil is going to start coming down, let's start looking at these oil plays to start turning around. All right, let's catch up with the chat. What's up? True Leave, Green Thumb. Looks like some cannabis being mentioned by Crypto Maniac. I can't blame him for that. One question regarding symbols for the industry. If I add them into Benzinga, I won't find them. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're probably talking about these symbols like SX50. Yeah, you're not going to find this in Benzinga Pro. This is kind of TC2000, Benjamin. I use TC2000 just because it has a little bit more advanced chartings and something that I personally have used for a long time. These SX50, if you see that, that's their custom index. So what is included in that, you could find out from TC. You can actually open the component right here, and then it'll actually give you all the tickers that are under that. That's what I use on the right-hand side that you see me going through. I work from macro to micro and then go into the stocks. But really what this shows you is how to approach it. So if you, let's say you're looking at, let's say this SX50, this SX50 is really consumer defensives. So you got to look at the consumer defensives. You can look at ETFs also if you want to kind of take a look at this. But this is just an overall index approach so that I can find the trending sectors and industries and then work my way back to the stock itself. What's up? What's up? Can I get 2 billion Zing coins? Hey, I won't be mad. Definitely. Without a doubt. Guess what I'll probably turn it into? I'll just go to the trade ideas and select some trade ideas and hand it out there. So I won't be mad if you send me over the Zings. Hit that like. Let's keep it going. SPY going bonkers for sure. Benjamin, that's the way. You know, one of the things is you have to find what works for you. Start trying it. See if it can work for you. Tony Rosa. What up? What up? Miami 305. 305, baby. That's where I grew up, man. I actually grew up down there in the South, in the crazy Florida. Good Lord. I don't know how I made it through, but I got out. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look. What other sectors are moving? What could get a lift? Technology really starting to break down here. I want to see what's going to happen with technology. You know, we got the Qs to start bouncing back, but there was some stocks that were going up here, but just not massive moves that I think kind of lower names, you know, nothing that was really standing out to me. At least Apple kind of had a nice day. Finally got a buck above that 150. So let's see if we can hold that 150 going into the kind of the rest of the week. Look for a fake out. Look for that move right back down below 150, pretty much towards 149.40s, and then look for that big breakout through 150s again. That's what I'm going to be looking to see if we can get that towards the close. I'll definitely be paying attention towards it. All right, let's time to start going through the stocks to the chat. I only got about 10 minutes left here, and then I'm going to do something a little bit different. I know that traders suffer with trading psychology. One thing that I want to start doing is I'm going to split this show up. Normally, I'm here for about an hour on Monday. I'm going to keep going through the charts like I normally do, keep going through trade ideas. But once we get to that half an hour mark, I'm going to split on over to on this same stream. We're going to call it peak performance. And peak performance is really all about getting to your mental strategy to match kind of your actual execution plan, your trading plan. So this is what we're working on. So right now we're working on the process, the trading plans, and how we can get there. Now, after that, after 4:30, we're going to work on the mental aspects of trading and how we can really get to the best decision-making process, which really at the end of the day is going to be being at your peak performance. Because if we can just perform at our top execution, then a lot of the times we're going to be able to follow our strategy, which should be a profitable strategy. Let's go ahead. Let's talk a little bit about DMS. What's going on? Strong earnings didn't help. Price targets didn't help. Potential buyout appears to help. But for how long? This is exactly what you wanted to see, though. I mean, just because you see bad earnings doesn't mean the stock can't turn around. And one of the things that I mentioned on this one, Solar, when I read those earnings reports, I definitely felt that this was going to get a turnaround. When? You got to wait. You got to wait a couple times before you get this pop. Now that you got this pop, I would use that hourly 200 to see if it can hold kind of $8.25s, $8 on pullbacks. You don't want to see it crack that. And now you can start looking for the upside to see how far up you can really get on this one. Of course, this one's looking for a buyout. That can happen. We saw that, right? GNOG, what happened to it, right? I was talking about this one for a long time, and then next thing you know, boom, up there to 19. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing that they're going to look for a buyout. That could actually be a great thing. I know for a while people were talking about potential buyout in RSI, which I'm clearly not in anymore, guys. I actually was able to get out on actually Thursday. We got out into that 14. So now I'm looking for a pullback down towards 1120, see if I can get back in this one. But I even heard potential buyout rumors for a stock like this. This is going to happen with SPACs often, that we're going to have these buyout rumors. You can't let it take control. You know, that's the one thing I definitely say is that, hey, at the end of the day, you know, we're going to run into these moments, but we can't let our trading get discontrolled by these acquisitions. We need to look for the earnings to come down into the stock, then give the stock a couple days for reaction. Because if you don't see that trend change, you know, hey, good earnings, good guidance, didn't matter. They didn't care about it. This one, DMS, you can tell they definitely cared about the earnings. And that's why they're also probably doing the buyout look also. Was a SPAC? What do you think? PSFE? All right, let's take a look at that one. I did see that one. PSFE. Let's take a look here. Right now, I actually talked about this one coming closer towards 8. I think this one can continue coming down. This one's kind of one of those that you just have to wait. Right now, right off the back, I can see that last time we went towards an RSI here. Let's see this RSI. The 19th of July, we went to an RSI 16. We need to beat that at the very minimum. Let's get down towards 15.10 on the RSI before we even start taking a look at this one. I had a feeling that if this one could continue cracking, that it could break that $10. Now you're looking at that really hard downturn and a lot of volume coming in here, showing you that selling is happening. So people are getting out of this one. Now, are they catching that bottom? They could be trying to catch that bottom, but I do think there's some people definitely getting out of this trade. Let's go ahead. Let's get into some stocks from the chat. I'll go ahead and literally just pick some from the chat. So you guys put them in there. I did see pins in there, some Roblox. Roblox is interesting. I would definitely want to take a look at that one in a second. When we return, guys, we'll get right into these stocks from the chat and then get ready for peak performance.
I tell all my CEOs, this is a very, very, very important platform. And look, all the other platforms are important too, but you're up there now. You're way up there.
best investments you can do in your future is actually go and re-educate yourself on credible sites and credible resources like Benzinga. I think you guys have been killing it.
The comment section on this show is remarkable. Like the quality of the combo, and just big shout out to you and your community.
So I love about you guys, you just had all your callers in right then. And it's all about the community here at Benzinga.
Yep. You got it. All about the community here. So let's go ahead and let's knock out some of these pins, being the first one mentioned. Not interesting, man. This has a huge gap down. Be careful with these. One of the things is this one on the weekly, you can see that it tried to break through 80s multiple times. Hard turnaround there. Not something I definitely would want to see. Looks like we're heading back down closer towards, I would say, support down here at 53, and seeing how you couldn't get through these levels. And then you tried to pull back, push up with a nice green bar, looking like a bullish engulfing candle, looking like it was just going to set up another candle right here for the breakout. And then it just flipped. And this is actually a bearish sign now. This is what you call a bearish engulfing. So right now, I think this is heading back down, man. I would be careful with this one. Like always, do your own risk assessment, but I definitely don't like pins here. All right, let's keep going. Rublox being mentioned in the chat. RBLX. I'm going to go through that one. This one's a very interesting chart. Looks like we got a pullback on the day. A strong pullback. This pullback could actually be a nice look. One of the things is it looked like it went down towards multiple lows, and you can see them, clearly. This kind of wick time right now, right before this, and then now you're coming back to it. Good look. Now we got to actually kind of reverse from that level and not even come close towards that level on a pullback. So now you see this hourly went down all the way towards, let's see the low right now. The low is 73.22. Let's take a look here at how we're trading in after hours. Looks like the earnings are out. I got to pull the earnings up, but definitely you got a nice pullback, quick recovery. Let's see it get above 80. That would show us a strong sign that it tried to just wash people out. Hold right here on this low and then just push right back up there through the 80s. Let me see what we got on those earnings. I definitely want to pull up the earnings, so give me 1 second here. Boom. I got to pull these earnings up. Got to get my Benzinga Pro. For some reason, I didn't have it ready today. So give me 1 second, guys. Boom. Let's get the news. Rublox. Oh, it's tomorrow morning. That's a lot of action into the close there. Someone either sold a big position or got a big position probably down there. I didn't see the level 2, so I can't tell you exactly. But it looks like it's scheduled tomorrow. Looks like we got it, though. Hold on. Yeah, it already came in. Here we go. This is why I don't do this live, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's get through this. Look, Roblox Q2 earnings EPS, a loss of 25 cents, up from a loss of 40 cents year over year. Sales were at 454.1 million, up from 200.39 million. Let's see what their kind of expected numbers were. Trying to find here their expected numbers. Looks like they increased active users up 28% year over years. Hour engaged up 22%. So some good numbers there. It also dipped 2% as bookings. Net losses fall short of the expectations there. So definitely, let me see here the estimates. Looks like it was estimated here to have a 12-cent profit. Is that what that says? Yeah, it looks like a 12-cent profit. So we're in the loss. So this is actually pretty bad, guys. Let me see here. Oh, this is the old one. We don't have the new one here on the estimated EPS. I was looking for an estimated EPS there to compare it to. If you guys know the EPS there, the estimated, let me know in the chat. Looks like we got a loss there of 25 cents now. Going to keep watching this one to see what happens. It was definitely an interesting stock. Washed down there to 74. Now let's see if it can get back above 80s. All right, that's probably going to be it for me today. I want to go through one more stock. Looks like someone wants to talk about Disney. I can't blame you on that one. DIS, let's take a look right quick, see where it's moving. Looks like we got a nice recovery candle today. I know a lot of people were thinking this one was going to start heading back down. I think that you'll get a kind of push back up through 180. So let's see if it gets back through that level tomorrow. You went down to 176 today, went back above here. The high was 180.59. Let's see if we can get above that high tomorrow. Do I like Disney in the long run? Yeah, because they keep killing it. I would pay attention to the weekly on Disney. You see how it keeps coming back closer towards this support right here. So that's if you put an Alt-H for our Benzinga Pro users, you can do it right there off the close. And then you can start drawing kind of a trend line here from this high. That's what you want to see it start approaching. So it kind of has this approach where it went up, pulled back, pushed up, pulled back, pushed up. Now we need it to, it's okay to pull back, but we needed to push on up through that 190, get strong, show you big volume, which you got a little bit of a volume pop right here. So that's not a bad look right there as you're starting to see the volume decline. And what start increasing, you want to see another green bar pop up here. Let's say get it towards 86 million on the breakout. That would give it a great look for Walt Disney. All right, that's going to be it for me. Can I please take a look at Tesla? Got beat down over the crash investigation. Honestly, it's just on a pullback. It's almost like they time these releases because I think, you know, it had a perfect look to get on up there. But look at the weekly. It just shows also that it's trying to pull back towards weekly support. We had a big push from about 550 all the way up there towards 700. Now it's going to pull back. The big question is does it stop at 650 or do we get back down all the way to 600? That's what I'm going to be paying attention to in Tesla. Once we find that support, I can come back and attack it. I actually made some good money on Tesla last time. So if it comes back down to 630, 600, you guys yell at me because I'll be paying attention towards this one and looking to see if it can catch a bid and get right back up there through the 700. There you go, VS. Just wanted to make sure I went through that one. Roblox missed. I'll definitely take a look. We'll definitely talk more about Roblox tomorrow morning. I'll take a look into the earnings report, see what really was there. I know a lot of people were mentioning this stock social. Even Cardi B was mentioning Roblox. So, I mean, she was saying that if she was ever going to go broke, it was probably going to be because her kids were using Roblox. So we'll be paying attention towards Roblox because it's such a social focus that this stock could get running even on bad earnings. So it doesn't really matter if the earnings were bad. Let's pay attention tomorrow and see how we get that lift. Got you, VS. You know it, Richard. Everybody smash the like. Up next, what we're going to do is let's get into this kind of now I want to get into peak performance. So one of the things that happens a lot of the times is I know that traders suffer to get towards their best ability. So one of the things is this is a recorded interview with a book. I mean, you guys have to check out this book. I actually have it right behind me. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just grab it. All right, traders. So what you're about to see is from the Observer here. The Observer, definitely check it out, guys. I think it was one of the best books, especially mixing sports and something that you can use in trading. So definitely check it out, guys. I think it's an awesome episode that I use. And I'm going to start doing this live for us, going through some subjects on mental game, mental trading. So first things first, check out this episode. Let me know in the comments if this is what you guys want to see on Money Mitch from 4:30 to 5. And we'll keep going. Up after this, you'll get Jake. Stick around, Trend Spiders, some great chart coverage. Let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit more about the mental aspects of trading. right, guys. So welcome, guys, to Peak Performance. This is a show that was really all about this book right here. This book has started a brand new show for us here at Benzinga, going to be called Peak Performance. And I'm more than happy and glad to bring on the special guest, the first guest of this show, which is Todd Stoudemire, 3-time World Series champion pitcher, author of The Observer, a modern fable on mastering your thoughts and emotion. And not only that, but someone I'm going to really truly look up to now. So welcome, Todd.
Mitch, man, I appreciate it. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm grateful. Man, it's just good to hang out with you here for a few minutes.
Yeah, when I first got this interview, I thought about it and I said, how could we relate it to finance and kind of bring it with our viewers? And I really thought about it. And the more I think about it, this should be a show itself and how we can keep working on getting towards peak performance, whether that be in sports, whether that be in finance or in your personal life or career.
Yeah, man, I love it. At the end of the day, it's like, it always goes back to creating clarity and awareness and what we're focused on in the moment. And what is that telling us? And what information does that give us? And then what do we do with that information? So I'm excited to share with you today as we jump in.
Yep, perfect. So I got a little opener here. You're a 3-time World Series champion. You had a 14-year-long career, 138 career Major League wins. Can you tell us what it was like to be drafted as the 3rd overall pick in the 1985 draft by the Blue Jays? The dream come true.
Yeah, for sure. And crazy enough, it was my 3rd time being drafted. First time was out of high school by the New York Yankees. And after growing up in Yankee Stadium, where my father was a pitcher for the New York Yankees, I would tell you I was hard pressed not to sign with the Yankees and go on to college, but seemed to be the right decision. Then I got drafted by the Cardinals and then ultimately by the Blue Jays. And I got to tell you, it was at the time I didn't even realize the blessing that it really was, is because the Blue Jays were really starting to put great teams together. And, I arrived at the perfect time. I was in the perfect place, perfect time. Everything was coming together. Had incredible teammates, had an incredible manager, played for, the Blue Jays turned out to be an unbelievable organization where we won some world championships. So it was a great ride.
Definitely. And one thing that I've always been interested in, I've watched baseball for years. So, pitching inside a dome, and I couldn't imagine pitching inside the Sky Dome at that time. How was it pitching in those sold out times or times of the World Series?
Yeah, it was, when you look back on that, 1992, 1993, we drew over 4 million fans. But I'm going to tell you, it was even more than that, because the fact of the matter is that every seat was not only sold out, but there was someone in the seats, and they even created a standing room only area. And it was like night after night after night. It didn't matter where your eyes scanned the stadium. Everyone was in a seat everywhere. It was incredible. I got to tell you, the city of Toronto, the country of Canada, they truly got behind that organization, those ball clubs. And I always think back and I look back on those teams, and it's pretty crazy where 25 guys coming together from multiple different countries, different races, different religions, different skin colors, but all those 25 guys all coming together for a common vision, for a common purpose. And we truly became family. And I always kind of draw back, or I reflect back and I look at that situation and I'm like, what a thing for the world to take a look at, that different races, different countries, different religions, that people truly can come together. And at the end of the day, we truly all want the same things, and we're really one and the same.
Yeah, and one thing that I've noticed in the pandemic time is that, we've got to come more together. So hearing stories like that is definitely what it's all about.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you, unfortunately, you kind of take a look at 2020 and it's like the pandemic brought the worst out in people, right? Instead of the best out in people. And, we own and operate a number of companies through a private equity fund, and my partner and I, and when the pandemic hit, it was like the first thing that came to our minds is there are going to be people that are going to come out of this worse because they're going to focus, but nothing but on the pandemic and how bad it is, and they're going to get caught and they're going to go down a rabbit hole. But then there's going to be other people and they're going to come out of it better because they're going to focus on what they can do. And at the end of the day, our focus matters and it counts. And if we're focused on things we can control and things that we can do and stay away from the things that we can't. So it kind of really became our message to all of our people, all the employees, all of the companies, all the executives, is let's focus on what we can focus on and just try to get better every single day.
Definitely, and that leads me right into my, my first question, kind of regarding more into the book, and that's morning routines. Morning routines that are mentioned to start the day. And what does your morning routine consist of, Todd? And why is the first hour of the day known as the championship hour?
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of named it Championship Hour because it's all about building the champion that lives inside of you. And, I believe we're all born with a seed of greatness. Obviously, all of our gifts and talents look different, but at the end of the day, we're all, in my opinion, we're born limitless. We're born for greatness. So I kind of named it the Championship Hour because that Championship Hour is all about building us. It's about building our mindsets. It's about building, our emotions and our emotional sets. It's about building our states. It's about growing our mind. It's about, meditating and prayer and prayer. It's about physically getting fit and taking care of our bodies. We got to take care of our minds. We got to take care of our hearts. We got to take care of our bodies. And for me, it's very simple. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it's become such a routine, right? And unconscious for me is that I wake up, I literally make the bed. It takes me, literally about 30 to 45 seconds. And then from there, brush my teeth. From brushing my teeth, I walk into my kitchen. I got 25 ounces of water waiting on me to hydrate my body from laying down all night to kind of rehydrate all my organs and kind of, gather my energy. I grab a cup of coffee. I head to my office. I spend a little bit of time praying. I push on a podcast. I'm trying to grow my mind, capture new ideas. I got my journal out. I'm capturing all of those. And then I'll file the best ideas in a certain file. And then from there, I turned one of my garages into a home gym because of COVID. And I literally walk down the hall, walk into the garage and spend about 60 minutes doing workouts. So my championship hour really has become 2 hours. But at the end of the day, from wake up until being done, to being showered, to being ready to take on the day, at 9 a.m., I'm ready. I'm ready mentally. I'm ready physically. I'm ready emotionally. I have incredible energy. I have great mental energy, emotional energy, physical energy, because here's what I don't know. I got to take care of me because I have no idea what's going to come at me during the day, right? I don't know what obstacles are going to come. I don't know what opportunities are going to show up. But if you're not prepared personally, when the opportunities show up, you will miss out on those opportunities. So I spend a lot of time preparing, just like I did for a game. I prepare for the game of life every single day through my championship hour.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that I just started recently, and it was thanks to the book, I went right back to the morning workouts, with such an expanding and building that I have to do with my career. One thing that I've noticed is that maybe I'm just not focusing on the fitness side, and I need to continue focusing on that side to keep it going.
Mitch, what's awesome is not only is great for you physically, your health, your fitness. I always tell people, hey, if you don't take time to be healthy, you're going to have to take time to be sick. Right. And it's like, man, who wants to take time to be sick? So what can we control? What can we focus on? But not only that, not only is it great for your body, it's great for your energy. And it's also great for your mind and your brain. And here's the other piece that so many people miss. When you accomplish something early in the morning, the psychological benefits of achievement, they start to build momentum. It's kind of like, as soon as I started making my bed, first thing in the morning, it's like, bed is made. What can I do next? And it's almost as you build momentum, psychology, momentum on achievement. And it just puts you in that place is, what can I do now? What can I achieve now? And it's just an incredible routine for peak performance and getting in the state and ready to achieve that day.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing like the power of decision, right? And so Sky, the son, in the Observer, keeps a journal. And I thought this was very important, because first, it's kind of mentioned as, kind of get a little bullied about it. And really, journals are important. Can you tell us how this can help keep the track of our goals and at the same time keep forefront to us what's important?
Well, there's power when you write your goals down every day, right? Is you kind of keep sending it out there that's what I want to achieve. That's what I'm chasing. That's what I'm pursuing. And then the other thing is there's so much power in keeping a journal. It's like, even when you're struggling, it's like to write down the struggle in a journal, to kind of like put a pen to paper, right? It's to dump it. It's to get rid of it. It's to release it. Once again, it kind of goes back to our state of emotions and this and that. There's something about like sharing it, and you're sharing it with yourself. But not only that, is when you do share it and when you put a pen to paper and when you journal it, it gives you now a chance to kind of take a look at it and focus on it. And as I focus on it, I can ask my questions. What can I do? What can I do better? What am I supposed to learn here from this setback, this struggle, this disappointment? And then you get to, on another page of a journal, start to write alternative strategies. Man, it's a great way to kind of get centered with yourself, get your mind, get your heart around it, get your thoughts and emotions, and create this awareness and clarity around what we're going through. And it's kind of like, it kind of relates to the book, The Observer, because The Observer is all about awareness. It's about mental awareness. It's about our thoughts. It's about how are we thinking? And are they serving us? Are our thoughts serving us? And if not, as a human being, we have the power to change that thought instantly. And as we change that thought instantly, as we go from a negative state into a positive state, it doesn't happen by a click of fingers, but the thought can literally be the snap of the fingers. But then if we all focus and we'll meditate on the positive thought, what'll happen is emotionally, it starts to gravitate and put us into a different state. And as our emotions start to get into a different state, a positive state, a performance state, we begin to take actions with that state. And that's the beauty of really creating this awareness, becoming the observer of, hey, how do we think? How are we feeling? But then the question is, what can we do about it? What can we change? What are the options that are available for us? So it's such a powerful tool.
Yeah, definitely. So I think, definitely, one of the things that people get away from is journals as they grow older. But really, I think they can actually be probably even more beneficial to us as adults than they can when we were young.
It's the greatest book you'll ever write is those journals.
Yep.
I have 5 children, and I've been journaling now since like 1993. And I just think back, and there's so many times I look back, and it's so fun to be able to look back and how was I thinking then? What was I feeling? What was I thinking? What was I doing? What were my strategies? What great lesson was I capturing at that point in my life? And it's not only a measurement of your growth, but you can go back and kind of catch yourself sometimes. And it's like, aha, man, I forgot about that. It kind of got away from me. And it's the power of journals, because if in fact we rely on our memory, man, we're going to be in big trouble, right? Because, at the end of the day, that's one of the beauties about not only taking pen to paper, it just makes that thought and that lesson, it just makes it so much more powerful and impactful.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that happens to a lot of traders is that they don't take a journal of their trades. Just that alone is an edge, So definitely. All right, so let's get into the next one. I want to relate a question to trading. The book, The Observer, a lot of the investing side, I think, is more psychological really than learning kind of trading. And so 2 areas where we can further mastery of the mind is really getting into the zone and winning the inner game. Can you tell us why it's important to go ahead and try to get into that zone, and then, of course, keep battling and winning that inner game?
Yeah, getting in the zone is kind of like a state of flow, right? It's where you're so focused on the task at hand, right? And you get yourself and your brain and your brain waves into this situation and in these moments, right? And to where literally conversations can be going off to the left of you, to the right of you, in front of you, behind you, but you hear nothing. I always refer to being in the stadium and being on the mound. And I pitched in front of 50,000 people, screaming fans. But when I'm in the zone, when I'm focused, when I'm at my best, when peak performance is happening, and it's like when you get in a zone state of flow, it's like it's happening automatically. But what's crazy is you can be in a stadium of 50,000 people and you feel as if you're in a room all by yourself, like it's dead silent. And the opposite of that is when you're standing on a mound or you're getting ready to make a trade, all the noise around you becomes an interruption. And that noise around you, the interruption, all of that noise, it's not their problem, it's your problem, is that we're not focused. We're not 100% focused at the task at hand. You know, I think about trading, I think about pitching a game, I think about trading, I think about the psychology of it. You know, it's kind of like, you know, people will say, hey, you know, you're only as good as your last game. And I'm always like, no, you're only as good as your next one. The last one's over. Whether it was good, bad, or indifferent, it's kind of like trading. You're not as good as your last trade. You're as good as your next one. See, the last trade, the last game, the last pitch, it's over with, right? Whether good, bad, or indifferent doesn't matter. But here's the thing, is like, if it was good, you can't buy your own press because you're going to get caught getting lazy and you're going to not have the laser focus on the detail that you need to have it on, which is what's important right now, right? And then the other thing is what if it was a negative trade? Or what if it was a negative game, right? You got to learn from it, reflect from it, get what you can of it, and then let it go and then move on. Because if you carry the last bad trade into the next trade, you're not going to be all in, man. You're not going to be near as aggressive. You're going to be tentative. And when we're tentative or we're tight, whether you're physically or mentally, you start to make more mistakes and they start to compound and it becomes kind of a snowball effect. So it's really about getting into that place of focus, creating the awareness. You know, one of my mentors said, Todd, he says, as you create more awareness and clarity, he says, what happens? You start to make better choices. And as you make better choices, you start to get better results. That came directly from one of my mentors, Mr. Robin Sharma. He says, Todd, get better awareness, better clarity, make better choices, get better results. And I'm going to tell you, you can take that principle and that model to every aspect of your life, whether you're competing or whether you're not competing. You're just living life.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I always say, you know, and there's actually a book that refers kind of Into the Zone. It's by Mark Douglas, and it's more on trading itself. And he's one of the mentors that I listen to, and definitely, you know, once you can really focus and stay in that present, that now being, that's when we're at our best. That's when we're at that peak performance because there's no distraction, and like you said, you only see the catcher's mitt, and the next pitch goes.
Yeah, you know, it's like it's kind of like what's going on, man. And I always say, you know, if our thoughts are on our last trade or our thoughts are on our surroundings and we're not getting laser focused, then I always tell people, I go, we got to turn the channel. You know, you got to turn the channel on those thoughts. You got to turn the channel on those emotions. And at the end of the day, it's like one of the great questions that comes up with is what's important, like right now? Like, what do I need to focus on right now? Like my coaches, my mindset coaches, my pitching coaches, they always used to tell me, Todd, it didn't matter the pitch you just threw. It's like this pitch, this moment, what are you going to do with it? So it's like this trade, right? It's like this trade, this moment, what's important right now? What am I going to do? Am I going to push that button? Am I going to make this trade? And when all of our focus and intention comes to the breath that we just take, that very present moment, and where you turn the channel or you put a roadblock up to anything that's happened up until that point of time, this is where you make your greatest moments. This is where you live your mastery. This is where you make your greatest decisions. This is where you're in your peak performance.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I've noticed is you can't stay there, so you definitely have to keep working to get back into that state of mind.
It's a practice. You know, I got a tool, and I talk about it in the book, The Observer, the 180-degree mindset. And I think about it. It's like, okay, so if I step away from myself and I'm observing the thoughts I'm having, right? And I'm like, wait a minute, these thoughts are not positive thoughts. They're negative. They're terrible thoughts. literally just call timeout on myself. And I say, what is the opposite of that negative thought or of that terrible thought? What's 180 degrees from there? You're going to land in positive territory. At that point, like if I'm creating this awareness, if I'm observing the way I think, or if I'm observing the way I feel, and I don't like the way I feel, it can be 180-degree mindset can be applied to your emotions and how you feel. And you can say, what's the opposite? And then just begin to focus on that opposite. So it's an incredible tool. You know, it's crazy how so many times throughout the day, I'll just be going through the day and just stop myself. And it's like, man, stop that line of thinking. That's not going to take me where I want to go. And anytime I find or I'm observing or I create this awareness, this clarity around these thoughts, and I don't like where they're going to take me, if I was to focus and act on them, call time out and turn the channel, go 180 degrees from it. Now refocus. And then sometimes it even takes self-talk, right? And the beauty of self-talk is this is the only time that you should listen less. And you should listen less and speak more to yourself, right? It's like God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth, except unless you're communicating with yourself. It's like, man, it's like listen less, because the reason I say listen less is because so many of our thoughts are around, you know, survival, right? Fight or flight. You know, you get into stressful situations and it's fight. How do I calm it? Right? It's like you got to stand back and observe, get clarity, have awareness, and then use the tools to get to a place where you can perform at your best.
Definitely. You know, one of the things that I've been working on lately is just trying to, you know, one of the things with the pandemic and being remote working is how to shut off, you know, remote working literally at your home and then going to your home life, your personal family life, and trying to separate those two and putting one, not the emotion, into the other. And
So
that's a tough
difficult,
task.
you know, and so many people are working from home today, right? And it's kind of like that thing that a couple things can happen here. You can have home influences that keep you from doing the work you need to do. And then the opposite of that is because your home becomes now your office, it's like you're not getting away from your work and you're not resting, rejuvenating, and getting to a place where, you know, you have to be able to pull back to constantly maintain and stay in peak performance. And definitely they can kind of intersect and you can create problems. So, you know, I have a home office. I'm like most people around the country, especially going through the pandemic, did a lot of work at home. But one of the things you do is, like, when I leave my office, I close the door. And then I always remind myself, wherever my feet are, just be right there. Just be right there. If I'm with
All
my
right,
kid,
guys, what you guys think? I'm going to go ahead and cut the interview there. If you guys want to see the complete interview, definitely just go to Benzinga's YouTube, look up Peak Performance. You'll be able to find it on there and finish the interview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to bring some more interviews like that, and I'm going to also just do these live, and we can go through the topics of the mental aspects of trading. To get into peak performance, guys, I mean, you have to be there if you want to get to the best of your abilities as a trader. I can't say it enough. You know, we can all have a positive system. So maybe something that we've taken and back tested. This is okay. Now you got your system. The question is, can you execute that system? And that's really what matters. And that's what separates, I think, the winning traders and the losing traders, is not only do you have a system, but then once you have that, can you execute it at the peak performance, which is what matters, guys. Let me know what you guys thought of this. Definitely smash the thumbs up. We're going to be getting you right over to Trend Spiders. We're going to be talking about Doge, Tesla, Wish. You can't miss it, guys. Trend Spider. I'm going to let you know that I'll probably be there watching some charts also. Like always, give us a thumbs up. Smash up. Surprised Mitch was wearing the Rays and not the Jays. No, go Rays, man. Go Rays. Definitely let us know. Let us know what you guys thought. Do you guys want to see more of the mental aspect of trading? Do you guys want me to continue peak performance and do this between 4:30 and 5? I will go ahead and do this, and we'll touch it every single week. Work on some trading aspects that I love, which are the mental aspects and the psychology behind trading. Smash up. We'll get you over to Trend Spiders. And like always, guys, Money Mitch, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'll see you guys next time.
It's time for Money Making Mitch. When investors need a story, we're going to the moon. Welcome to Money Mitch, where story is everything. I'm here to find you the next opportunity. It's all about the green hands. Now we all know the bull market is here to stay.